You're just like, oh, wait, I know what to do. Just do that, do that, do that. Yeah, I'm not good at them, but I still try and do them anyway, just out of discipline, really.
Yeah, I try to do them, but at the same time, I always have the images in my head because I'm writing it and I have the shots in my head. The problem is our director of photography doesn't. Thankfully, though, this time around we got a photographer who is sort of pro. He's really good at it. And most of the shots were completely his idea, and they worked out great. We have, for instance, one shot that was shot on like a really short lens, a wide angle, with me in the background and this dude in front of the camera. But as it turned out, I thought, because that was his idea to do, and I thought, we need to compress this because it was a really boring shot. So he just, he went out and got a 500mm lens to compress the shot like hell, and now, I'm dead center in the back of him, which is an awesome way to do it.
It's nice when someone can just go out and grab a lens, isn't it?
Yeah, he even brought an 85mm 1.2 to the set, like official Canon stuff. That lens alone is like $2,500 dollars. It's an amazing lens, though. We managed to overexpose a completely black room. But at that point we were just doing it because we could. We're not going to use that shot.
I'll be honest, I don't storyboard unless I really have to, unless it's like really effects heavy or something.
Oh, you naughty boy!
I just make a shot list and stick to that.
Dear listener, don't listen to Martin. Storyboard. It's what the teachers say to do.
Take the quick and easy path. It's something I'm going to have to do for a project I wrote a while back, which is all effects heavy, and I'm really not looking forward to it. I'd probably have shot it 6 months ago if I didn't have to draw the whole damn thing. And buy a load of equipment that I've slowly been putting together.
Well, storyboarding isn't so much about drawing the film. You could get away with stick figures. As long as you have some indication to the actors and the photographer, unless you're photographing it yourself, which I tend to do. But this time around, I was in front of the camera like 90% of the time, so couldn't really shoot it. But yeah, just give your, not necessarily your director, but give your photographer something to look at so that they have some sort of idea of where you want the camera. Because if you draw the storyboards based on locations that you have, the cameraman automatically knows where to be.
Well, yeah, if you can't reference a location, it makes it very difficult.
Well, if you can get some idea of it. I mean, if you're writing a scene for an office, just draw a desk and someone sitting at it, and then the angle of which you want it. If it's stick figures, you don't have to worry about perspective and proportions. Proportions. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's really hot. I'm having a hard time even thinking in this weather.
Take off all your clothes. I am
Who'd have thunk it would be 85 degrees in Norway, huh? Not me, that's for sure.
Bloody Norway stealing our British summer.
We're still in the southern parts of Norway's summer as well. They have rain, which is always fun. It's always in the newspapers. Anyway.
Has this affected the ice fishing league?
It has not. Of course not. We have hot ice. I thought we discussed this already.
Pipecrete.
But yeah, plan, and then when you finally get on set, the best tip I can give you is just set your actors, unless you're acting it yourself, against someone. Just where you're supposed to shoot it, start choreographing it or blocking it, and then just rehearse with the script. As for our film, it took about 5 or 6 tries with the script, and then we were able to act the scene out without one. But apparently I'm good at memorizing, so I don't know if that applies to everyone. But what we did, which is a good tip, is mark your floors. If the floor doesn't appear in the shot, like X marks the spot for point A, and then draw a line from point A to point B where you're walking. Do this for both actors, and then like for even more help, just have the first couple of words or even the first words in the line drawn out on the floor as well. That's what we did because we had a lot of blocking to do. It's quite a complicated scene, like technically. If you look at it, it doesn't really look complicated at all. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was going on there, and the lines and markers just really help out because you can just basically do a soap opera thing where you stare down for like a millisecond, you see the first word of your line, and there we go. I remember it now. So that's a good tip. Of course,
if you go from having people who just, like what a lot of people do is they'll get the actors to just learn one line at a time for the shot, and when you go from that to working with people who can memorize the whole scene over and over, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Both to the performance and getting everything shot.
Yeah, you could do shot by shot, but what I prefer doing is just shooting the scene in its entirety, if it's a short scene anyway, from one angle and then just repeating it from another angle, because odds are that in the creative process of editing, which is a way later step, you want to mix up the shots anyway.
Yeah, that's how I prefer to do it as well.
Yeah.
Hello.
What are your top tips for getting locations?
Just mass emails. Just like make a huge list of potentials and hope that one of them responds. Same with actors as well. If you want, like, going back, like, if casting calls or whatever don't work, if you've got no friends, just email actors or like agencies, mass emails. Chances are at least one of them will respond and want to do it, which is nice. But that's what I've found with a fair bit of the stuff I've done. Just mass emails, and odds are someone will respond.
Yeah.
It might not always be what you want, but it's something.
Something is a lot better than nothing.
Oh, it is.
You could shoot a lightsaber duel in a tortilla factory, or you could shoot one in the forest, What do you think will look cooler? Oh yeah, the forest, of course. Yeah, that's because you don't know how a tortilla factory looks. It looks awesome. But yeah, Owen's completely right. You shoot email. If it's a small town like here, you just give them a call. Odds are they know who you are. If you like me work in retail, it doesn't have to be electronics. Just somewhere that people will come by often. They'll start. If you're a good person, they'll know who you are when you call, and they'll be okay with you borrowing the location. Like, we're gonna throw in a couple of bottles of wine for the managers, but generally when we ask if we can borrow a location at a set time, they're fine with it. If they're not, move on, find another location.
If
and
you
also
do live
be
in
early.
a small town and you want to know the best way to get actors, don't live in a small town.
Yeah, also Facebook is your friend. There probably is a casting group on Facebook at any given location. I recently discovered there was one here, and this is a really tiny town. There's 5,000 people living here, and we have a casting group on Facebook. So odds are, if this town has, your shitty-ass town of Preston does too.
The thing with actors, especially sort of like people who are just starting out, they know actors. And if you're having trouble getting a role, you can, talk to people who are actors, and they'll pass it on, if you sort of worked with people before. The other thing is find out what theatre groups there are and see if you can help them out in a way and get to know them, and then that makes it much easier to approach people. Offer to film their stuff or do promo work for them, and just do a bit of give and take.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have any editing skills, an actor will instantly love you because they'll be like, "Oh, you can do my show reel," and then and then you've just sort of got constant business with them if you do a good job.
All the
Because
stuff we said
I know a
about
few actors who, you know, over time, I had to keep on coming back to me to say, hey, we mind doing a new show reel. I don't have any money to give you, but you can have this broken Xbox that you can fix.
all the stuff we said about having to feed actors, it goes out the window if they need a show reel. You can just torture them to your heart's content.
Another thing, though, is if you're working with people that aren't actors, but they're your friends, odds are they think they can act, but they really can't.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case and you're directing, just start directing. Because in my experience, people who aren't actors will listen to directions. If you can put them in the correct mindset, they will actually perform way, way better. We had last year on Whoish Part 2, Magnus, who plays the first iteration in that, he did a terrible job. But as I talked more and more with him, you know, trying to put his mindset on the right place, he actually did a lot better. So just keep directing. Don't believe for a second that your friends are actors, because they're not. They're friends, and they want to help you out with doing whatever you want to do. So yeah, just if you have a basic understanding of how direction works, you can probably make it a lot better than it was before.
It's the same as well with using friends as, you know, additional crew. When I was doing Death Clock, I just suddenly realised, oh shit, we need someone to hold this boom. And then, like, my flatmate was just like walking out, it's like, oh, you, come here, hold this boom is your life, and like sort of like ran through a quick how to use a boom thing, and then he was just totally like dedicated on that job for the rest of the day because he had no experience in it, but still because he didn't have that experience, he was just like, I cannot fuck this up.
Yeah.
Whereas someone, you know, you might have a little bit of boom experience, and this is just sort of like, oh, I'm missing my day for this. They might not be, you know, fully on form, and the guy who did it for me, I think did a better job than some of the people I know who have actually had boom experience and some other stuff I've done. So good on you, Jake. Well
okay,
done.
golden rule of film production: get a good dialogue track. Everything else is secondary.
Yes, yes.
What I would say about actors is even working with professional actors, the worst thing you can do is just stand there and say nothing. Like if they come in and do exactly what you want first time, they still want to hear what your thoughts are. You know,
Yeah.
they want to know that they're getting it right, or you know, they probably think there's some way they could improve it. They just want a bit of coaching to get there. You know, I've worked with really good performers who've just sort of come up to me halfway through really insecure and be like, you're not saying anything to me. And it's like, because you're perfect. And I'm like,
Yeah, give your actors feedback. That's, you know, it's important. It could be something as little as, yeah, great, we're keeping that. Or just, you know, could we try this another way? Because, you know, you're doing a great job, but can we try it, like, happier, perhaps? Or, you know, something to that manner.
I think as well it's important not to be sort of intimidated by actors. You know, they could be doing a good job, but it's not exactly what you want, and you might be like, oh, it's good, but I don't want to say anything because it's good, but it's not what I want. Just do it. And actors, you know, that's what they want, is to please the director. And you know, if they're not pleasing the director, to them, they're not doing their job right. So
Yeah.
let them know.
we should get an actor on sometime.
Anyone you want.
No,
I mean,
just
you could look at it. I think someone on the Friends in Your Head forum pointed it out about Transformers 4. Now, while I haven't seen the movie and I don't plan to do it in a million years, it should be pointed out that Mark Wahlberg can actually act. He's actually a terrific actor. The thing is, when you have a shitty director, Michael Bay, you're going to get shitty performances. Because they're just going to assume... I'm not saying Michael Bay is assuming any of this. This is my words, not his. Let's say Michael Bay assumes that Mark Wahlberg knows how to act. So, you know, he's seen recent performances. They were okay. Unless he watched Ted, in which case I have no idea. Anyway, he's just going to assume that Mark Wahlberg knows how to perform these scenes, and he's just going to shoot it, and Mark Wahlberg does his thing, and George Lucas isn't there to tell him faster, more intense, and then we'll just wind up being what I assume Transformers 4 is. You know, kind of like the big hit, and Ted is just this really flat performance, or even Max Payne. It's, you know, completely off. It's a good performance, but it's not what it should be. Say if you took, I don't know, Gene Wilder was a good actor, but he couldn't play Gandalf like he had played Willy Wonka. You could have Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. You could have him play Han Solo, but he couldn't play him as Jack Sparrow. You need to direct your actors, because if you're directing it, don't just be like, yeah, I'm the director. It's not just a title, it's an actual job. People do this for a living. Sort of like boom operators, you know, some people are good at it, some people are just your friends, and you know, you tell them to do it, and those good friends will actually guard that thing with their life and try to do the best job ever.
What I would
You know,
say,
on the next production they suck because they think I got this.
what I would say is you get some performers who will nail it first take and get progressively worse, and others who warm up to it, and it's good to sort of figure out what type of performance you have as quickly as you can, because if you've got one of each, then you're laughing because you can do the one who gets gets it first, you can do their close-up first, and then switch around to the guy who are now warmed up.
Yeah. Also, if you're working with several actors that you don't personally know, like say you did a casting call, the first actor is usually set in stone, because you get the perfect guy or girl for the job. So if you have supporting characters that are going to interact a lot with this person, have them do screen tests together if at all possible. Because, you know, say you have a romantic scene between them with a kiss, if there's no chemistry, it's not going to be good. They could be two individually great actors, but if they don't have chemistry at all, your film is going to suck.
If you want to save yourself a hell of a lot of hassle in the casting stage, don't have characters who are either in a relationship or siblings or with family members, because then you have to get people who can match, and it just makes your life so much harder.
They could always be adopted, but yeah.
Always write about strangers.
Or adopted people. Usually works.
Adopted strangers. That's a title.
We're making that. It's going straight on YouTube or something.
There's nothing worse than when you've written like a couple and you've found two people who are really great but don't match, and then you find someone who matches one of them but isn't as great.
Yeah, then you have to take on your directing hat and start directing. But if they have no chemistry, then there's no hope.
Directing is 90% casting.
On set, though, what are your pro tips that aren't really pro because neither of us are pro? I know Martin's going to say lighting. Because he loves lighting. And dialogue track.
Get good people.
No, I mean, on set, you already got the good people. Now you're on the set. What do?
What do you do with the good people?
What do you do, Hotshot? What do you do?
You feed them, fuckers! And keep them hydrated!
What you should do is you should rock up a bit later than everyone else, slightly after the call time, looking scruffy, without a copy of the script, and just sort of go, "Hi guys, what do you feel like doing first? I haven't really thought about it yet."
Yeah, that's, you do that and you see how far you go.
Well, your job isn't just to, get the thing made, it's to install confidence in people. People need to know that you know what you're doing and that you can do this with your eyes shut. And if you're feeling like you can't do it with your eyes shut or open, you need to leave them with the impression that you can.
Yeah.
Which can be hard if things are going terribly, terribly wrong. But it's okay because you've planned and planned again and done a test for when that goes wrong, and you know what you can do in every situation.
Yeah. Like an actor breaks the leg, what do you do? Obviously, the correct answer would like bring first aid kit to the set, but we're not going to do that.
I'm not sure how good a first aid kit is going to do on a broken leg.
You never know, right?
The regulations are much more lax in Norway.
Yeah, we have morphine in those, you know. It's all good, man. Just act the fuck out of it. Use the broken leg, you know. Use it in your performance.
Yeah, definitely try and inspire confidence people. Confidence in people. Don't inspire confidence people. What is a confidence person? Anyway, yeah, do that. Oh, yeah.
If you're directing, don't be afraid to tell people what to do. Say you have a cast of friends, you have a crew of friends. They'll respect you for being their friend, but you're also first and foremost their friend. But the problem is, on set, you're not first and foremost their friend. You are the director. Start pushing people around. I mean that in the nicest way. If someone's the boom operator, you tell him to go get it done now. If you have someone on call just to get water, tell him when you need the water. Just don't, ask him, could you get the water later? If he's here for that specific reason, you tell him when he's doing it. If you're shooting in 10 seconds, let everybody know that you're shooting in 10 seconds, and then you do it. Don't say, is everybody ready? Anybody need a break? Have scheduled breaks. Don't feed your set all day. I mean, some people do that. I don't. I have lunch.
Say 4 hours in. Thank you.
Sure, that helps too.
And whoever you're with, there's always going to be that one guy who, after like every take, is like, can we just go for a fag break? No, you wait.
That's the problem in Norway, though, because we don't have only cigarettes. We have this thing, which goes under your lip. It's called snooze. And it extends your lip a bit, so if you're in front of the camera, like 90% of the time, you can't actually do this, because they're not like a 10-minute thing, they're like an hour thing. So that kind of kills the shots. So after 6 or 8 hours of nicotine withdrawal, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, try not to go too long if you're not paying people. And if you are paying people, still don't try to go too long if you can help it.
No.
Unless everyone's fine with it. Because, a few times people have wanted to, no, let's just stay and do this. Because a lot of people, especially with the first timers, they sort of get really into it and sort of want it to carry on the whole way through. Not saying do this every time at all, at all. But now and then, I think it is okay. But only if everyone's on board with it. If there's if you want to stay all night and everyone else doesn't, don't.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
make sure everybody has a good time. It's all about having fun, really. And if there are people that aren't having fun, then the entire crew and cast will suffer.
I try not to go over 6 hours if I can help it.
Yeah, generally. 8 hours works if you're on a tight schedule and you have to get it done and the others are well aware. In our case, we shot for 8 hours straight, and all of the participants were there last year, and they all knew what they were getting into this time, so it worked. But the second day, we had new people, and yeah, we had to stop it after 6 hours because everyone was exhausted and burning up, and it doesn't help when there's 80 degrees outside, because you go outside to cool down. Nope. So, quit when you can. Or you could try and have a tight schedule, like, say, in Martin's case, shoot for 6 hours. You could say that we're shooting from 12 to 6. We have lunch break, that's 30 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever, rows your boat. And then, if you have done your planning correctly, then within those 6 hours, you will actually have what you set out to have within those 6 hours. But usually not the case. Because
When
as
you're
Owen said,
planning,
you plan and you plan and you plan, and it's worth nothing when you're on set.
when you're planning, make sure you put a good chunk of your time to just getting the stuff that you haven't accounted for, or you'll fall
Yeah.
behind very quickly.
Yeah.
And also, if you're thinking like, right, this scene will take maybe, I don't know, an hour to shoot, mark it in for 2.
Yeah.
Because, and then even if you're on schedule, whoa, there we go. You're ahead of schedule. Now you've done it. You might get to finish early, but, always try and leave that little extra room, or a lot of extra room, because it will really help. And if you're doing well, it'll make you feel like you're doing a good job.
Yeah. And also, if it's your first or second or third outing, odds are your planning will suck.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause the first Who-ish thing we did, that was purely improv mainly. And then the second one had a lot of planning, but it still went for 2 days. And now the third one had like insane amounts of planning. Bit of a short schedule there, planning from May to June. But we still are 50% done, and we'd like to be 99% done now. So yeah,
If you guys
do
are
as Owen
sched-
says.
if you guys are scheduling, how long would you give to shoot a page of dialogue?
Well, a page of dialogue is usually 1 minute, so I'd think 1 to 2 hours.
I think it depends entirely on the context of the scene, I guess.
Oh yeah, of course.
If
It's
you've
a
got lots of
straightforward
camera
two people.
movements and everything, well, I don't know. I can't plan that kind of stuff. It's close up shot, reverse shots.
If it's a
I'd say about an hour,
If it's
maybe.
a simple 2 people sitting in the diner talking sort of thing, like say a 30-second shot, 1 minute shot. Oh, scene. Then that's probably gonna go a lot easier than, say, Star Wars, or something like that. Because
Well, it
you have to
depends.
plan
If it's a
stuff.
shot of them sitting in an X-wing talking, probably not.
No, because they're already there. You have a visual effect shot, and you have to plan those. Like a lot. We have a good few visual effect shots in part 3, and they've all been planned the fuck out of, and we still.
Yeah, well, whose
still
stupid
fail.
idea was that?
Yeah, it's still my idea. I'm not gonna argue there.
I thought it was mine.
Oh. Actually, the idea for Whoish Part 3 is taken from what would be Part 3 a year ago. We had 2 scripts. Not sure if you've read the second one, but the idea stems from there, but it's not carbon copy. It's not even close to copy. The same premise is there. So it's not even my idea. It's the scriptwriter for Part 2. If you want to get strictly technical.
Don't get technical with me.
I'm not a committee.
Someone get Owen a pop filter.
Never.
I actually have an extra one. I could put it in your Norway goodies bag. Which I haven't been able to send yet, but still.
Yeah, like postage to Norway is actually really expensive.
Yeah, I discovered that because we have something called. I'm not entirely sure how to say it in English. It's like you would have a Britain package. Like stuff up to 50 ounces is this much, and then up to 200 ounces is this much. We have that, which is domestic, but once you go, foreign, it's a lot more expensive.
I still have this for you, by the way.
The hell's that?
It's a big black dono.
Anything else that we want to talk about film production?
Next
Yeah.
episode will be
Do not.
post-production.
Yeah, don't assume everything can be fixed in post. Please don't. Especially if you're not the one doing post. I'm leaving it to someone else.
Yes.
Don't, because then we will hate you.
Don't shoot in RAW unless you're absolutely sure that that's the way to go. After 8 hours, we had 120 gigabytes worth of footage, and the workflow is a pain in the ass. Just keep that in mind. If you're shooting raw on Magic Lantern, the workflow is not at all ideal for anything.
And
Really.
the flip side of what Owen said, don't assume nothing can be fixed in post. If it's a really simple solution and doing it on set is taking hours longer. You know, if you can't get a good dialogue track because it's a wide shot, put the boom on a stand and paint it out because it's quick and easy.
Or reshoot it with close-ups and use that dialogue track.
And it's like, if you're directing and you're not doing post-production, learn a lot about post-production anyway. Because,
or have a post-production guy on set.
Yeah, because I've edited a lot of things where they didn't necessarily know anything at all about post-production on set, and then they've just said, so yeah, will you be able to take this out, and can you do this, can you stabilize that, can you do that? Well, I can, but it would have taken you a minute to put that camera on a tripod, and now it's going to take me how many shots here of this, times that. Yeah, it's going to be at least so many hours of just render time because you couldn't take a minute to put a bloody camera on a tripod.
Yeah. Or if you're doing, like, green screen shots or say, foreground wipes, please just plan your shots accordingly. Because nobody wants to rotoscope.
If you're doing green screen shots and your actor is not at a minimum of 2 meters away from the screen, you're doing it wrong.
Unless you have like a really good spill suppressor.
If you've got them right up against the screen because you don't have room for anything else, you don't have room to do the bloody shot. End of.
Yeah. Agreed. Also, if you don't
Laughing
light
from
your green
experience.
screen, if you don't light your green screen accordingly, you're gonna have a bad time.
Also, if you have a green screen and someone coming through a door, Owen, don't open the shot. Don't open the door if it covers a light.
I didn't shoot it. I just sent you the file.
Don't ever assume that you can fix it with a green screen. Don't ever assume that you can just shoot something in front of the green screen and replace the background and it'll be awesome, because it won't. Because odds are you don't have access to proper lighting, and you should always light your green screen and your actors separately. Green screen should have flat lighting, and your actors should have similar to whatever location they're supposed to be in. So if you're doing like outside shots, you should have some daylight. Not actual daylight, I mean daylight lamps. And if they're like in a, let's say, a cockpit or something, you should try and figure out in the planning process what the lighting should be.
And if you are going to try sort of doing a film, it's your first time, you know, make friends with people who know what you're doing, like these guys, because they're the best people to know and the best advice.
I think it's all, don't worry about making mistakes, because that is how you learn.
Yes.
This whole episode has basically been us telling you our mistakes.
Pretty much, yeah.
You'll make your own, and then you will start a podcast and tell other people about your mistakes.
Yeah, you'll memorize this entire podcast and do everything that we told you to do, and do nothing of the things that we told you not to do.
You get to fuck it all up in
you
and
get to fuck it up. Yes.
And that's the fun bit. Ish.
Sure.
Not at the time. It's the fun bit in retrospect.
It's what gives you bloopers. Also, if you're shooting on RAW, just stop the camera when it's not in use.
Okay, any last tips before we go? Owen.
Fingertips.
Tom.
Don't assume anything will go as planned. Apply Murphy's Law to everything on a film set.
Wherever you're shooting, you need to know one vital thing. Where the nearest loo is.
And where are your pants?
Especially if you've got girls in the film.
Then you especially need to know where your pants are.
Yes.
What's a girl?
In the meantime, this has been the Extended Edition. Visit us on the web at extendededition.net. Follow us on Twitter at EXT Edition.
And we're on Facebook too. Extended Edition Podcast.
We're even on Twitter, EXT Edition.
We've done that one.
Did we? Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's me not paying attention and just checking out my awesome wallpaper on my phone.
My
ears are sweating.
I'll probably split this one in two, so can I just do another intro?
Yep.
You and your episode splitting.
Oh, I love it. I did not love it with the Star Wars thing, though. There's like 17-minute episodes. Anyway.
Welcome to the Extended Edition. This is part 2 of our episode on film production. And once again, we have Tomahawk in Norway.
Yep, still here.
And Owen in Liverpool.
I'm still not in Preston.
How long are you going to keep doing that?
Now we'll just fade back into our previous conversation.
So sparkly glory.
Alright.
Cool,
was
stop
fun.
recording.
Hey.
And since you're saying you're splitting it into, guess who's getting it? Let's see. Multi-track mixed out? No. How the fuck do I export this?
You just export it.
Export file? Is that it? Oh. Oh shit, this has been a while. MP3 audio.
So I got another effects gig next week.
Ooh.
Got to go up to London and do some
Before you say
supervising.
anything, we are live.
Is anyone watching this?
Yes.
Who?
Really?
I have no idea. But we
What's
have
the YouTube link?
one viewer. YouTube link is...
We didn't even go live until like 5 minutes before it ended.
Shut your mouth. We did too. There's your link. Not sure that actually works. It should. Yeah.
That's a link to the Hangout we're already in.
Then how the fuck do we have like a YouTube? It's been too long and I formatted stuff and... The YouTube link is right here. No, wait. Fuck it! It's probably Sanis.
Of course it is.
I don't even know where my... Oh, that's not good. Where, like, my exports go. Oh, shit. No, I do not want to keep the original file. Just go ahead. Oh.
Right, that is on its way to you. It'll be with you in 2 minutes. Wow.
That's fast.
Yeah.
You have new broadband or something?
I did indeed.
Ah.
I got a 15 megabyte a second download speed not too long ago, and I was like,
It's always fun when you do that.
like I'm used to seeing 2 megabytes a second being amazing. So going straight from that to like 15, and then it went up to 19, and I was like, oh.
I think I can do like... why are there not... Friends email... Mart. Apparently it's... Looks like you forgot to enter any email addresses to send it to. I did not! There we go. Transfer. Oh, Scott Walters is our viewer. I have no idea who that is.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, Scott.
How you doing?
He has commented, insightful, very well done, thanks guys, on to part 2.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea who that is.
That was not insightful, was it?
He lives in Florida.
We don't know any Floridanese people.
This is what he looks like.
Oh.
This is his home address.
And we're still going live.
Yeah. So if anyone on 4chan want to do something,
I'm trying to see if I can find this on your YouTube channel, and I typed in Vedina, and there seems to be a pop song called Vedina.
That's cool, but you know, my YouTube channel is not Vedina.
I don't bloody know, do I?
It's
Oh,
Tom Ellingson.
YouTube's their people's names now. How did you not get this memo?
Because he's the Faldor.
Apparently I'm a
Faldor.
studio creator.
He's the Faldor.
Who's the Faldor? He's the Faldor.
YouTube's gone all different.
This is why I don't hang on YouTube like all day. Most of my friends are like, "Oh, did you see that guy on YouTube that's like really popular?" And I'm like, "No," because that's not how I use YouTube. What do you do on YouTube? Mainly check camera reviews and stuff. Like really boring stuff.
Right, I gotta go.
Where are you off to?
To grab keys. Fun, fun, fun.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Grab them keys. Bye. How do I save up? You know what? Fuck it. You're getting the file. Did you get it yet?
Hang on.
Transfer complete. Yeah, should be there.
Yep, I've got them.
Alright, good. Just download it, check if it's alright, and I'll just close the session, because I'm not keeping the save files.
I've got to start on this, take the live thing off and I'll tell you all the secrets. Sorry, Scott.
Sorry, Scott, see you in part 2, which is post-production, I guess. I swear this window's here somewhere. There we go. Stop broadcast. Bye!